All right. So first thing you might want to do, guys, is reset the calculator. So remember, you push the second plus and then 7, 1, 2. And I should say RAM cleared. All right. So for the first problem right here, number 1, number 2, you're going to go ahead and put a numeric solver. So I'm going to go ahead and push math. I'm going to scroll up. It says the numeric solver program. So this E1 part, now remember, we're going to use X's for X. This is the X button right here, guys. You have to push this one. There's a minus sign, 5. We got 2X. Plus 2X. There you go. Try not to get the glare on the calculator. Move down. When you see the equal sign, this is going to be X plus 3. So we have X right here. And then plus 3. Minus 2X. And then we have to push graph. All right, some of y'all are still pushing enter, which is why you're getting it wrong. So you're gonna push graph button 2 times. 1, 2. All right, so just double checking. 4x minus 5 plus 2. Okay, good. So this number, 1.1428, this is one of these numbers. So I know it's not F. I know it's not 5, so it's positive 8 divided by 7, but we can check. All right, watch. So it says quit, push second quit, and if I put 8 divided by 7, you'll see how that's the number, 1.1428. So you can always double check by typing it in. All right, so that's how you do number 1, using the numeric solver on the TI-84. So go ahead and do number 2, same thing. All right, you can put pause. It says when I do this side, you do this side, okay? Now, next, we have some points, all right, but we want to use a table, all right? We're going to put the point 0, 3 and the point 2, 0, and we're going to use Desmos, all right? So my Desmos calculator, I'm going to put this into the table. Remember, this is my table. So on Desmos, you have to go to that little plus sign, put your table right here, and then you want to type in your little formula, y1 squiggly, oh, it's a bad squiggly, and then mx1 plus b, like that. Okay, so remember, the m number is this one right here, the b number is this one, so just pay attention. All right. All right, so when you put your numbers in, here's the 0, 3, the 2, 1. Remember, you have to hit this plus button for the table. All right, there's my squiggly. Now, if you have a decimal and you don't know what that is for one of the numbers, the M or the B, so remember, you can just type this in and then hit this little mark. So negative 3 over 2 is the fraction. So when I look back here, I know I have negative 3 over 2. So automatically, it cannot be F, it cannot be J, it has to be H. And it makes sense because there's a positive 3 on the B, so plus 3, good. All right, do the same thing here for number 4. So put in decimals, put pause if you need to. Now on this one, guys, you can do in decimals or you can do in the calculator. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it in decimals. Right. So this one you want to put in number 1, and then we're going to try these in number 2, and we need a match. Okay, match graphs. Oops, misspelled graphs. All right, I'm going to show you in a second. All right, so all this is going to go into the first part in decimals, and remember, we have to put the little y equals in front of it, and then these are going to go on the number 2 slot, y equals, and then we're going to try these. Okay, so I'll show you in a second. All right, so that's the question part. So that whole thing has to go into the first part. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this one. I'll show you how to type it. So you have to put y equals. Now when you put the x, to get that little 2, all right, this little exponent, the squared, you have to push shift and then the number 6 where that little arrow is. So shift 6, and then it's going to move up here, put 2. Now be careful, you have to move to the side so you can get back down, okay? And then we're gonna put the rest of it, plus 6x plus 21, all right? So plus 6x plus 21. All right, they both have the y equals. We're good. Now here, if you notice, I want you to see something. I'm going to turn off the second one. So if I turn it off, you see this red, and that's the first one. The first one's red. And then I turn it on, see the blue. So it has to match exactly. You see how it's the same thing? Here, watch. I'm going to turn it off, turn it on. All right, turn it off, turn it on. Once they match the same graph, that means that these are equivalent, all right? And that's what it's asking for. All right, basically, when you're simplifying it, when you do all the math here, that means that this is the simplified version, right? So put it in y1, try each one of these in y2 and see which one matches. So these are going to be off. Like x squared plus 6x. Here, let me put that 15 so you can kind of see the difference. All right, I'm going to change this 21 to a 15. So notice how they don't match anymore. This is not the same. The red one is higher than the blue one. They have to be the exact same. All right. So this one's a little bit easier. Remember, this is the y1, and remember to use the x. So, or the first part, 35x squared minus 63. And then the next one, you're going to pick one of these to see what's going to happen, okay? Yeah, so pause. So try that one in decimals. All right, next. So this one, again, decimals. This is the same as last time. y1 squiggly, mx1 plus b, and the rate of change is the m. So they're only looking for this number. So remember the x and the y. So when you put it in decimals, remember this x goes on this side, negative 8.5, and then the negative 92 goes on this side. And you keep doing that. So next is negative 6.5, then negative 72. Okay, like that. That's how you write it down in decimals. All right. And then use this to find out what the m is. Same thing right here. It says, what is the rate of change? The rate of change is the m in decimals. So these are the same that we did before. Same setup. This one, which one is equivalent? Remember, equivalence and simplifying are kind of the same thing. So number 5 and number 6 is the same thing. You put this in decimals. And you want to match graphs. Decimals match graphs. So this is the y, the first part, 4 square root 147. Now to type that in, because that's a weird symbol. Let me show you. So you want to type in like the 4, so y equals 4 like that. Then you can go down here and you see the square root right there. All right, it'll show up. Now you just type in the 147 like that. Now, we don't have to really match the graph. We can actually just look at the number. To be honest, I would say match the numbers is easier. So now I'm going to pick one of these to see which one of those is going to have the same number. So let's change that to match the number graph. I think that might be easier. Match the number. So for example, let me do like 3 square root of 7. So y equals the 3. And then not square root, there you go, of 7. Nope, type in 7. All right, that is not the same. So I know that's not the answer. I can go here, let me put 12, because there's one that has 12. 12 square root of 7, it's not the same. Get rid of that one. 28, 3, so let me go ahead. 28. Now I'm wondering, can I just move this? Oh yeah, look at that. There you go. So my decimals, my numbers are the same. 28. So my answer is D. All right. Do the same thing over here on number 10. Same thing. All right, now on the back, again with the decimals, guys. Decimals and y1 squiggly. But on the table, all right, the way you set this up, you have to start with my first point starting from this side going this way. Like if you're reading a sentence, this is my first point. So negative 8, 3, and then negative 3, negative 4.5. And can you scratch? I don't know what this is here. Just scratch it out. Find the equation of the line. So you have to give me the y equals mx plus b format, right? Get your mx plus b. Fill in these boxes. X is right there. Put in Desmos. Again, use your formula. Y1 squiggly mx1 plus b. It's just the setup. The table setup is where some people mess up. This point has to go first. So right here, this point goes first, and then this one goes on the bottom. So be very careful there. Same thing. Here, I'm trying to think. So we can do this one in Desmos as well. All right. The way this one works for Desmos or for the calculator, we're going to put these in the number 1 slot in y equals form. And then we're going to find these points, 0, 9,000, 1, 800. So let me show you. All right. So let's put this one. All right, y equals 9,000. Parentheses, do not forget the parentheses. 1.1. Now I have to hit that shift 6 again with the X. So let me show you on the computer. All right. Now, one thing we can do here, guys, once you type it in, I can go to the gear. I have to hit the little create table. And then I can type in the numbers. So you're going to type in the X numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3. So look, 0, 9,000. 1, 9,900. But look, this is supposed to be 8,100. So I know that cannot be the answer. All right. So if I try this one, this is a 0.9 inside of the parentheses. I'm going to go back and change it. 0.9. And then now you guys, you have to do it again. Once you change this number, this doesn't update. I have to exit out. All right, I have to go back to the gear, and then I have to go to the table to create my table, all right? So 0, 9,000, 1 is 8,100, and then 290. All right, so look, those are good. Let me just type in the 3, and if that matches, that's my answer, 3. See, this one says if I have a 3, 65, 61. All right, there you go. So that's my answer. G. All right. So remember, this goes into the Y1 spot. You have to hit the gear and then create C-R-E-A-T table. All right. So this is the gear, guys. A little flower, whatever you want to call it. That's what you have to hit. All right, now the domain is X numbers. All right. When it says domain, it says X. So automatically, guys, G and H are out because it says domain. Range is Y, domain is X. So when we're talking about that, guys, wherever the graph is, I'm only looking at these numbers right here. These are the X values. All right. So I have 2 points, one on each side. And remember, the X is the first number. This is the domain. So I have a 0. Over here, I have 230, the first numbers. So 0 to 230 with the X in the middle. You see how they try to trick you right here? They put a 6. It's F. All right. So the same thing here. Look, it says what? Domain is the X values. Let's get rid of this one, get rid of that one. And wherever the graph is here, going, now this goes on forever. All right. Forever. Now the reason this goes on forever is because you have an arrow. This arrow, that means it goes forever. So there's no number. All I have, the only number I have is this number right here, -2. Right? Because that's my X. I'm on my X line. So you should be able to get your answer. Now on this one, There was a mistake right here. Right. This is supposed to be g of x equals 6 parentheses 2x plus 7 g of 20. So you're just going to put this in the calculator. All right, just type it in. All right, y equals, and you can put it in the regular calculator too if you want to do it by hand, or you can put it in Desmos. In Desmos, you just put y equals. In this calculator, you just put regular. So 6 parentheses 2. Now, instead of having an x, they give you a 20. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 20 where the x is, plus 7. All right, and then you just get your answer. So let me do it in the regular calculator. 6 parentheses 2, and then another parentheses, 20 plus 7, enter. So your answer is 282. Don't forget, whenever you see the x becomes a parentheses, and you put the number there. Okay? So my answer is 282. All right, same thing, can y'all draw a line right here? This is a mistake. So you're gonna put this, -4, parentheses, and then the x is another parentheses, and it says we have to put a 7, minus 15 squared plus 2, okay? Put that, and then you'll get your answer. All right. Then number 19, you have to put this in Desmos. This is the number 1 spot. So for number 1, it's y equals 2x squared plus 15. On number 2, it's y equals negative 11x. Like that. All right. You're gonna look for the dots, right? You're gonna see some dots. You have to zoom out. Also, when you type it in, guys, make sure you zoom out for Desmos.